Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the podcast. So excited. It's going to be a good week. It's always a good week here. Yeah. So we're on our fifth episode of the Kickstart Your Health series. I can't believe we only have one more week left. That's just wild to me. I need to start planning what we're talking about after that. But I hope if you've been along this whole time that you've already learned a lot. You've been able to implement some new habits into your life, some new ways of looking at food, ways of looking at, working out. And maybe things feel a little bit less overwhelming now and more achievable. That is my goal for you guys, to be able to get to that point. So today we are going to be talking about how to get started at the gym, because I know some of you who are listening are gym goers. You are somebody who does work out at the gym all the time, but there are some of you who don't. And for both of you, I mean, if you're already at the gym, you could learn a couple things from this maybe. But if you haven't started at the gym, I'm hoping that by listening in today, I can kind of encourage you to get started on that, because it is a very wonderful world. If you listened to last week's episode, then you know exactly how I feel about working out at the gym and why it is such a incredible thing to incorporate into your life. I'm very thirsty today, so we're gonna have a couple water breaks. All right, so before we start, I just wanted to remind you that if you haven't joined the Kickstart Your Health series yet, you can go click on the link in the description on, if you're watching on YouTube, on there. If you're listening to the podcast, it's on there. Also on my Instagram, it's kind of everywhere. So the Kickstart Your Health series, we're on the fifth episode. It's just been a 6-week series where we spend the first 3 weeks going over all the nutrition basics. We're in the fitness portion now. So just going over all the things you need to know to kind of get yourself started and kickstart your health. And as soon as you sign up for that, you will get a free 6-week workout plan. So if you're listening today and you haven't started that yet, I highly encourage you to get started on that. I've got all the stuff laid out there that you need to get started at the gym. Yeah. I'm so sad that this is going to be over next week. This has been so much fun. And thank you guys so much for, just hanging out with me on the podcast for 5 weeks, 6 weeks already. That's insane. That went by so fast. Anyways, so let's start off with just keeping you up to date with what's going on in personal life and business, and then we'll get into today's training. What I like about the personal things is that I can kind of give you like mini trainings within this training on completely other topics. So last week, I'm in the middle of powerlifting prep. I think we've got just under a month left. Wow, that's crazy. That's coming up so fast. So we started a 6-week training program. We did the first week. Last week was supposed to be the second week. Today is the third week. And just a lot of things going on in life, in my brain, whatnot. And I did not get any workouts done last week. Just, life, my brain, me just wanting to stay inside and then contemplating going to the gym and then deciding not to. And then, oh my goodness, it's already been a week. But what I want to tell you about this is, so Saturday, I did go to my friend's gym. We worked out, did some fun things, didn't do a heavy workout or anything, just kind of played around with equipment that I hadn't used before, and then took another day off. And then Monday, yesterday, went back to the gym, started on my program again. I was like, you know what? We're just picking back up. We're just continuing to truck along. And I ended up getting records, personal records, so things that I've never lifted before, in a couple of my lifts there. I think, yeah, all of the lifts that I did yesterday, I ended up getting records in them. So my squat, we were doing box squats. I did 205 pounds for 6 reps for a few sets. I haven't been able to even like to squat 205 pounds in the last couple of years, besides like our mock meet day. So that was crazy. I was just like so confused when that was happening. I'm like, how am I lifting this? This is wild. Same with bench press. I was able to lift quite a bit more than I have been doing like consistently. And yeah. So basically, what we've learned from this is taking some time off is not always a bad thing, especially when it comes to lifting weights. Our body needs recovery time. And I think that I was pushing myself a little bit harder than what my body had been used to at the time. In the past, I have been able to push myself probably even harder than what I was doing. But sometimes I get stuck in my past brain instead of, where I am now, and forgetting to remind myself that I'm not at the point that I was before. So we may need to tone things down a bit. So a week off definitely did my body well, which is nice to see. Then you don't feel as bad for taking a week off. And what I want to remind you is with anything that you're doing when you're trying to get into a new routine, when you're trying to incorporate something new into your life, we always think the hard part is getting started and like sticking to something and doing it every day, right? And being perfect with it. Now, what I find is that's actually not the hardest part, because at the very beginning, you've got a ton of motivation and excitement behind it. So you're good to do that every day. For me, it's usually just a few days. For other people, it's often a few weeks. So it depends on your personality and how long you can stick to new things like that. But what happens is that part is the easy part. But as soon as you have 1 day off or 2 days off or 3 days off or however many it is, then going back and starting again, or even just like getting back to where you were and just doing it, that is the hardest part, because we like doing things like every single day, right? It's harder when you have a couple of days off and then you got to do it again. And then your brain starts going through all these things, being like guilty for not sticking with it, or, oh my goodness, I had a few days off, I didn't do it, I'm a failure, right? We go through all of these things in our head and beating ourselves up for taking a day or two off. And it is so hard to get yourself back to it, to just keep going. Because really, a day or two in the long run makes zero difference, right? You just have a couple days that you didn't do it, or that you did the opposite of what you wanted to do. But that's okay. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you just keep doing it. And if you're doing it 80% of the time, and every once in a while you have a couple days off, you're still doing it 80% of the time. Whereas our brains like to try to convince us that it's either 100% or 0%. And that's just not helpful, right? We want to be doing it more than 0%. We probably want to be doing it more than half the time. Probably 3/4 of the time is a good aim to actually like see good results from things. You just want to be doing better than you were before. And I do find that that part is the hard part. And that's when people usually never go back to it, because they had a few days off. Maybe they'll get back to it once or twice, and then they won't get back to it again. But what I've found with my clients and with myself is the more often you practice continuing on after you've had a couple days off, the better you get at it. And I actually like to think of it as a skill on its own. Like you can practice the skill of working out, or learning how to make healthy meals. But I also find that there is a skill to sticking to something even when you've had a few days off. So if that ever happens, journal, reach out, talk to somebody, help yourself get through and notice those thought patterns that are happening that are not helpful, and try to get your logic brain back into it and be like, it's fine. A couple days is not going to make a big difference in the long run. We are aiming more for like the 60 to 80%. We don't need to be 100%. And that's why I like having goals as like ranges. So I'd like to work out 3 days a week, but if I only get in 1 or 2 days a week, that's still okay, right? And then if you don't hit 3 days a week and you only hit 1 or 2, you're still good. You're still on the right track. Or if you set yourself a goal of like waking up early in the morning and you're like, you know what, I'd like to wake up in the morning without hitting snooze, but if I hit snooze once, it's no big deal, right? So when you're setting up your goals, if you give yourself a little bit more leeway and a little bit more freedom, and it's not such a strict, solid goal, then it's a lot easier to stick to. And then, of course, if you have somebody in your corner that you can reach out to, that always makes things even better to help you stay back on track. You can talk to someone and be like, I messed up. And they'll be like, that is okay. It's fine. Just keep going. Don't have to worry about it. Don't have to backtrack. Don't have to feel guilty. None of that's going to help you. What's going to help you is to just keep going, right? So there you go. Mini lesson before the training. And I do think that that's something that's super important and that I need to remind myself of often as well. And sometimes life just reminds me of it. Like my lift's getting better. It made me feel really good yesterday. That was a great start to my week. Yeah. So that is just some personal things that are going on. That was something that was pretty prominent that I thought would be really helpful to share with you guys. Second, we'll quickly go into business. Few things going on. I hired back my business coach, which I am so excited for. When I first started my business, I hired my business coach and we worked together for 6 months and she taught me so many things. I had fantastic support and my business just went really well. And I loved having somebody in my corner along the way because my brain gets in the way so many times, just like what I was just talking about. So it was so helpful to have somebody there with me. And the last 6 months haven't been going as well as I would like them to. I mean, I've still come out with a lot of really exciting offers. I just like to get, more consistent and work with more people and just get myself out there more and have more people like learn about what I want to teach. So, and then just be more consistent, which is a big thing for me, get better on my schedule, all of those things. So I've hired my business coach again for another 6 months, potentially a year. And yeah, I'm just very excited about that. As I like to say, coaches need coaches too. Just because we know the things doesn't mean we're always going to be good at implementing the things and sticking to them. So yeah, very excited about that. The fall challenge, ladies, only have 4 weeks left, and it's crazy how quick those past 8 weeks have gone by. They've been doing incredibly well. I'm so proud of them, but also very sad that is going to be over soon. But we will have, we have like seasonal challenges. So we are starting another group challenge in January, which is going to be amazing. Like every time I do another group challenge, they always get better and better as like I can see the progress that they're making and I can learn, what can I do to make this even better and get feedback from my clients in the challenge. So yeah, I'm super excited for January's. Everybody who joins that one is going to also get the Working Woman's Guide to the Gym course. So that's going to be the first time that they're actually going to get a course too. So very excited about that. I'm going to be back to teaching classes at World Gym. I very much miss my in-person stuff and, teaching people working out stuff and coming up with workouts and just, being around people all the time. I used to think I was an introvert, but nope, that's not true anymore. I need people. So, I think I'm going to be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings. That is the plan. So I'm excited to get back to that. And I'm also going to be taking on more in-person personal training clients because again, I want more people. I like working with people in person. There's just something different about it. I still love my online coaching. I can reach more people with that. And usually when I do in person, I actually do online coaching with them as well, because you get so much more out of it than you do with just doing like a personal training at the gym. You get help with your nutrition, you get help with your mindset, you get help with the days where you're not at the gym. So yeah, just lots of things happening. Very exciting. It's going good. Things are going good. And we're almost at the end of the year, which is crazy. We've got like 2 more months. I guess a month, because I need to remind myself to take vacation sometimes. I forget about that. I forget that I should take vacation. So we're going to take vacation around Christmas time for a couple of weeks. I think that is needed. After the fall challenge ends, we'll have some time off. Okay. So let's get into today's training. We've got half an hour left here. So I will get through some stuff for you. So today I wanted to go over how to get started at the gym. So I think one of the most important things to mention right off the bat is that you do not need to go to the gym for 5, 6+ days a week, ever. 3 days a week is probably like the max that you have to work up to in order to see like the best results. But 4 or 5 days, 6 days, maybe, if you want to, right? Or if you're like a bodybuilder or a competitive powerlifter or CrossFitter or whatever, or you just really, really, really like it, you can work up to that many days a week. I mean, I typically work out 3 or 4 days a week, even when I'm in my bodybuilding training. That's just what feels best to me. And then I can kind of spend my other days doing like going hiking, doing some like HIIT classes sometimes, because I find those really fun, doing rowing, just doing different types. Rock climbing, I'm hoping to get back into, and maybe even gymnastics. So I have a lot of interests outside of the gym. I know it seems like I'm just obsessed with the gym and that's the only thing that I do, but I do some things outside of the gym too, and I'd like to do a few more. So when you're getting started at the gym, I would probably start at the very beginning with 1 or 2 days a week. Okay, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is so much easier to stick to just doing 1 or 2 sessions a week than it is to do more than that, right? If it's Monday and it was such a busy day, when you get off work, you're like, I just need to rest. I don't think today is the best day to go to the gym. Then you can push it off to Tuesday, and that's okay. And then you want a day of rest between. So Wednesday comes around, it's your rest day. Thursday, you're like, things are happening. Maybe there's an emergency at home or at work or whatever, and the gym gets pushed off. Friday comes around and it's pretty chill. Fridays are a pretty chill day. And then you can work out on Friday. So even though you planned originally to work out on Monday and Wednesday, it got pushed back to Tuesday and Friday, and you're still good. You still got in your 2 sessions in a week. And it's just a lot easier to schedule in, and it's more flexible, and it can fit easier into your life, into your routine. Second reason we want to keep it to 1 to 2 days a week to start is that your body's going to need time to recover between sessions, especially when a lot of these things are going to be brand new to you. So even taking 2 days in between sessions at the very beginning is just going to help your body, repair the muscles, learn what the heck is going on, create those neural pathways in your brain to be like, this is what we do to squat. This is what we do to deadlift. This is what we do to do a push-up, right? There's a lot of processes that have to go on when you're first getting started with working out. Now, you don't want to do workouts where you are sore for a week after your workout. That is one thing to be very wary of when you're getting started in the gym. So go light. Okay. Don't grab the heaviest weight you can find. Okay. Even just like, if you ever see those like wooden sticks or like a PVC pipe, I actually often do like my first session with anybody is usually just with that. Okay. It weighs like a pound. It is pretty much zero weight. But what we're going to work on is practicing those main movement patterns. So your 6 main movement patterns, I'll go over these in more detail as we continue. So the first one is a squat type of movement or a knee hinge movement. So your knee is going to be the main mover. So squats. Your second one is going to be deadlift type movements or a hip hinge. So your hip is going to be the main mover. So like just bending over. Your third one is going to be lunge type movements. So that's going to be your 3 lower body. Your 3 upper body are going to be a push, so like a push-up or an overhead press, a pull, so pull-ups, chin-ups, rows, and a midline exercise or abs or core or whatever you want to call that. So I will usually get them to just use a very, very, very light weight, and we'll just go through like one exercise of each of those and you're good. So your first week, please just go very, very light and probably like 2 sets of everything at maybe 10 reps. That's a really good place to start. Because the main thing you want to focus on when you're getting started at the gym, or even getting back to the gym if you've had like several months off, is that you just want to work on the movement patterns so that your body knows how to do those exercises. So we're just reminding the body, this is how you do this, okay? If you go too heavy, especially if you're coming back to the gym when you've been off for a while and you try to go back to the weights that you were using previously, this is kind of what happened to me when I went right into my powerlifting training, trying to train as heavy as possible. It takes a toll on your body, and it's going to be difficult to stick with your schedule because, like I experienced, your body needs recovery time. It probably needs a little bit of time to have a bit of a break. So that's why we want to keep it fairly light so that you're not feeling incredibly sore, so that you don't want to go back to the gym. You don't want to be at the point where you can't walk upstairs or you can't sit on the toilet. That's not what we're going for. And by the way, soreness does not equal a good workout. Okay. Those are 2 different things. We don't 100% understand soreness, but you don't need to be sore to tell you that you had a good workout. You don't need to be sweating in order to tell you that you had a good workout. Okay. You just need to be challenging yourself, and it needs to feel like it's not super easy, right? It needs to feel like you're getting stronger. You're doing a little bit more than you did the week before. Things feel a bit challenging, like they are difficult. Like you wouldn't want to do it like all day long, right? But it's not so much that you're like dripping in sweat and you're feeling sore for a week after your workout. That's getting a bit too much. And you're not going to get as much out of it because you're not going to be able to do it as often. Okay. So 1 to 2 days a week is a perfect place to start for your workouts. And if you join the Kickstart Your Health series, you will get a beginner's workout program. The first 3 weeks are 2 sessions a week. Every workout is 2 sets of 10 reps, and it's all dumbbells, so that you're not getting to the barbells until the last 3 weeks, so that you can work on those movement patterns. So just getting better at the 6 main movements, so your squats, your deadlifts, your lunges, your presses, your pulls, and your midline. Okay. And when you're first getting started, as you can see, all of the workouts are full body workouts. And I like this because you get to hit everything way more often than if you would split it up into upper body and lower body. Because if you split it up into upper body and lower body, you just get all of your upper bodies once a week, and you just get all of your lower bodies once a week. But if you do a full body workout plan, you're getting everything twice a week. And they're just more fun, I find, as well, because you can do so many different things. And if you have like, I don't know, cleans or snatches or things that, or like rowing or things that use like your whole body, or burpees, and you don't know where to put them on upper or lower, you're good. It's a full body day. You can use things like that. Okay. So start 1 or 2 days a week. Your 6 main movement patterns. Okay. 2 sets, 10 reps of each of them. Super easy place to start. If you are already doing cardio or HIIT or boot camps or things like that, so things where your heart rate is really high, where you're sweating, where you're not taking much breaks, make sure at least one of your workouts during the week is going to be a strength-focused workout. And all that means is that you're doing the exercise, one exercise, and then you're resting for a couple minutes. And then you do the exercise again, and then you rest a couple minutes. Okay. And your purpose, your goal of this one is to build strength. So each week you want to be lifting a little bit more than you did the week before, and that you're getting stronger week to week. This is where you're going to actually be building your muscle mass, which is not a scary thing, right? If we go back a couple episodes, it's not scary to build muscle mass. That's how you get, toned looking, where you've got lean arms. That's where you build, muscle in your booty, in your legs. And the more muscle mass you have on your body, and if your diet stays the same, your body's going to be burning off that fat. So your stomach's going to get leaner, your arms are going to get leaner. We want to build muscle mass. That is always the goal in order to get that, athletic, feminine, toned looking body. Okay. And that's going to come from your strength training. You're very limited in the amount of muscle you can build with HIIT workouts, and with cardio, it's very, very little, or boot camps or things like that, things that are very fast paced and high energy and very little rest time. You can't really build that much muscle with them. The muscle is going to be built faster, much, much faster with your strength movements. So if you enjoy cardio and HIIT and boot camps and stuff, like I do, so I do keep including that in my workout programming just because it's really fun for me. But again, I just include it as something that's fun and something for my cardiovascular health, but I do prioritize for muscle growth, my strength workouts. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can absolutely do both, but just know the purpose and the intentions behind each of them and why you are including them. Okay, so I will go through some examples for you guys of these 6 main movement patterns, just so if you are wanting to build your own workout program, it's very, very easy if you just choose one from each category and do 2 sets of 10 reps and you're golden. Like very, very easy. I want to make the building workouts process as easy as possible. So squat type movements, knee hinge patterns. So squat, you can do a body weight squat. You can do a dumbbell squat where you hold like a goblet squat. So you hold it in your palms right up to your chest. You can do it with a barbell on your back, a barbell on your shoulders, in front of you. That's a front squat. You might have to look up some videos for some of these. You can do box jumps. Those are really fun. You just jump up onto a box. What else? You can do these with kettlebells, with dumbbells, with barbells. You can do it with machines, but if you're just getting started in the gym, you will see a lot more progress with free weights than you will with machines. So I would leave machines out until you've really mastered all of these 6 main movement patterns. And the only times I would program in machines are if you're looking for muscle growth in specific areas, just as like accessories, maybe at the end of your workout. I know most people, when they go to the gym, they go right to the machines because they're less intimidating, right? Than the barbells and the dumbbells and all of that stuff. But it doesn't take long to learn how to do squats well and deadlifts and all of that stuff. So it's okay. They're not scary. You can watch some videos on YouTube. You can work out with a friend. You can hire a personal trainer just for a couple sessions, just to learn what you need to learn. There's lots of good information out there, tons of stuff on YouTube. Meg Squats is great. She's got lots of instructional videos. She's a power lifter. She's done a bit of weightlifting. She knows her stuff. She's been doing this for a long time. So Meg Squats on YouTube, if you want to learn how to do any movements, she's a really good resource there. So don't go right for the machines. They're not going to be your best option. Okay. I know it's scary, but you can go to the dumbbells, to the free weights, to the barbells. They're not going to hurt you. Just start very, very light, right? Even just body weight, even just with a stick, a wooden stick or a PVC pipe, and you'll be golden. Doesn't take very long to get used to those. And then you won't even look at the machines. Okay. You'll be fine. So lots of options for squats, deadlifts. These ones I would definitely start with dumbbells, with a kettlebell. So just traditional deadlifts. Again, for all of these, just you can write them down. You can check out some videos. Actually, if you download my Kickstart Your Health and you get the workout plan from there, each of them in the workout plan has a video linked on YouTube, so you can watch a descriptional video for all of them. And there's kettlebell swings. Those are fantastic. Love them. Hip thrusts. Again, these are all like hip dominant movements, which means you're going to be using your butt and your hamstrings, the back of your legs for these. For squats, you're going to be using your butt and your quads, so the front of your legs, quite a bit. Then we've got lunges. So you can do walking lunges. You can do backwards lunges. You can do split squats, like a Bulgarian split squat, where you're in a lunge position and you just move up and down. You can do step ups, lots of different options here. Then you've got the upper body movements. So your pushes. So your upper push is going to be like push-ups, bench press, overhead shoulder press, things like this. Your pull movements are going to be like pull-ups, chin-ups, rows, things like that. So your upper push are going to be working your shoulders and your chest, and your upper pull are going to be working your back muscles. And then finally is the midline. So these are things that are strengthening your core, your stability, your balance. So all of your traditional ab exercises would be included in this category, but I actually prefer ones that are more working on stability. So if you're doing like one side at a time, or windmills or carries, so you just hold really heavy weight and then you walk with it, that is very challenging. Hollow rock holds, planks, V-ups, lots of different options here. So if you take a look at all of these, with the lower body stuff, you're working all of the different areas of your legs. So the front of your legs, back of your legs, your butt, all that great stuff. For the upper body with the pushes and the pulls, you're getting in all of your upper body muscles, and then you're also getting in core stuff. So we are making sure that all of these muscles are hit. Now, as you may notice, we don't do a lot of like bicep curls or tricep push downs, or like crunches and things like that. And that's because those muscles are still getting used when you're doing the larger compound exercises. I'm going into a bit more detail than I planned on here. So if you're still listening, I appreciate it. And I hope this all is not too much information all at once. So biceps, for instance, are being used with all of your pull movements. So even though it's mostly your back, your biceps are also doing the work as well. And when you're just getting started, or even if you've been doing it for a while and your goal isn't specific body parts, like a bodybuilder, then like most of my trainings like this, I almost never do bicep only work, and my biceps are still being worked by all of the other exercises that I'm doing. Your triceps are being worked from all of your chest exercises and all of your push exercises, right? So you don't have to specifically isolate each individual muscle in order to use it. You're actually going to see better results by doing full body and compound movements that are using more muscles at a time. Once you get into, you've been doing this for a long time, you're starting to see like maybe some muscle groups are lacking more than the others, then you can throw in different things. And this is all going to depend on the individual person. Like I have noticed lately, my biceps are getting weaker. And I've noticed it in some exercises where my biceps are just hurting. And I'm just like, okay, I need to throw in a bit of extra bicep training just because my biceps are lacking a little bit. And previously that wasn't the case. So things can change, and you just got to pay attention to what's going on with your body. And again, this is more way down the line after you've been training for a few years. For the first couple of years, very easy just to focus on the main compound movements. Those are going to get you the best results. Workout programs do not have to be complicated. They do not have to be all of those things you see on Instagram with all of these multi-joint movements where you're doing like squats with curls or like lunges with presses or like anything like that. You do not need to have these complicated, fast-paced things. You really just want to stick to the basic 6 main movement patterns, and those are going to get you the best results. And it's just so much easier to track how well you're doing and that you're actually getting stronger on these. You can work on making your form better. It's not boring, I promise. Even though you are doing a lot of the same things all the time, it's not boring because you are getting stronger and better at things. And when you're getting better at something week to week, that just is really exciting. Like I was working out with my friend yesterday, and she was doing squats, and we've been working on her squat depth, so squatting lower. And she was showing me her video about how much lower she squatted this time than she has been previously. And that was like a huge, exciting thing that we'd been able to accomplish. So I don't know, it's really cool just to like have different things that you can focus on during your workouts, which is getting stronger, improving your form, super fun stuff. And that keeps it exciting. And of course, as you start working out, you'll notice like everybody has different things that they enjoy with working out. Like I kind of like everything. I really like lifting heavy and getting strong. So that's like kind of powerlifting training. I also really like bodybuilding training and, growing my lats and my shoulders and growing my booty and my legs and just like creating a physique that is what I like or what is going to help me win a bodybuilding competition. I am lucky that my genetics of how I build muscle really fit well with the bodybuilding category that I've chosen. So it is a bit easier for me than for other people just because my body likes to build muscle in the way that fits with the bodybuilding class that I'm in, which is figure. I also really like CrossFit style training where it is more high intensity with the high weights. That stuff is very, very fun to me. So there's so many different things you can do with weightlifting. Like it doesn't have to just be like a very specific workout plan all the time. Like there's so many different areas and so many different things that you can learn along the way. I've also become super interested in mobility training and in end range strength, which is pretty much like getting into like the end of your flexibility and then adding weight and getting stronger at those very weak positions. So lots of interesting things when it comes to working out, and it can take time to find what you really enjoy, but it's cool to just kind of play around and try different things and get strong along the way. And yeah, super, super fun. So let me just check my notes and make sure there isn't anything else I wanted to add in here. When you are first getting started, you can absolutely do it on your own. Just make sure you're finding really good resources that are teaching you how to do things properly. And you need to go in with a plan. You need to watch videos and make sure that you are doing things correctly. You do need to do some amount of research in order to get good results from it, in order to not injure yourself and whatnot. So going light, making sure you're watching videos on proper technique and form. And another really great idea is to record yourself from the side. Every single workout that you do, every single exercise, just record yourself. It'll just be like a minute-long video. So do your squats or whatever you're working on, record from the side. As soon as you're done, grab that recording, stop it, and watch yourself. Now, I know a lot of you don't like looking at yourself and videos and pictures and things like that, okay? But we're doing this to help you get better at what you're doing, to notice if there's anything that you can fix, okay? So try to be objective when you're looking back at your video. So watch your video back. Let's say you're doing squats, and one thing that you're trying to look out for is a butt wink, which just means that your back is rounding at the bottom of a squat. So you want your back to be pretty straight with almost all of your movements. So if you watch back your video and you notice that your back is rounding a bit at the bottom, then you can kind of be a bit more aware and try to see what you can do to fix that. And as you record yourself and watch back, you are kind of being your own trainer and noticing when things are happening and how to fix them. And it can take some trial and error to figure out how to actually fix it. And I do this a lot when I'm practicing, like, okay, how could I help somebody who does this? So I'll try to figure out how to do it wrong, and then I'll try to different things on how to fix it. It's a bit of trial and error, but again, that's the whole thing with working out, is you're always learning, you're always improving, you're always able to get better at it. So recording yourself and watching back the videos is going to get you better at all of your movements. way more than looking in the mirror, because there's a lot of things you can't see in the mirror, like your back position, which is a very, very important thing to focus on. And you're also going to become more aware of how your body feels doing certain movements. So record yourself. That's one of my big tips. Another thing you can do is, of course, hire a personal trainer or work out with a friend who knows what they're doing, or even a friend who doesn't, but like you guys have watched videos together. You can kind of help each other, like, see, am I rounding my back here? Does this look good? Are my knees caving in? Like, if you guys have watched videos together, that can be super helpful to, work with somebody who is at the same level as you, but you guys can learn together and make sure that you're actually researching and learning what you need to learn to do it properly. You can hire a personal trainer for a couple sessions, even just to teach you the movements and just things to look out for. It doesn't have to be like a full 6-month long commitment or anything like that, but even just a couple sessions just to get a decent idea of how to do things properly will give you just a little bit of a head start. And then again, go check out Meg Squats on YouTube for some really good demonstrational videos of how to do everything there. And finally, one thing to learn is how to brace properly. So this is just keeping your back in good position, and it's keeping your abdominals engaged during lifts. Now, this is going to be more important once you start lifting heavier, but it's always a good thing to learn as soon as you can. I do have a video on my Instagram if you want to go find that. There's also lots of videos on YouTube. So learn how to brace. So it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. There's lots of things to learn when it comes to working out, but the information is all out there. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it for free. If you do want to make it faster to learn, if you want to see your results faster, of course, you can always hire a coach to work with. Hey, I'm available. I do love helping people with working out and whatnot, but of course, that's always up to you. You've got lots of options out there. I've got the program Design Lab, which is just workouts specific, where we create workout plans together, and then you send me videos and I give you feedback, and you just learn how to do everything properly, and you have somebody there along with you. And then of course, I've got my private coaching, which is the whole shebang. So we do the workout stuff, we do the nutrition, we do the mindset. You've got somebody there with you along the way, and you're going to get to where you want to be very, very quickly within 3 or 6 months, instead of just doing your research on your own. But both are great options. I did it on my own for a good probably 6 or 7 years before I actually hired somebody. So you can do it on your own. All the information is out there, and I'm just trying to give you as much information as you need. And yeah, it's up to you if you like learning on your own. If you want to hire somebody and do it faster, up to you. Do what feels best to you, my friend. So yes, that is what I have for you guys today. That is mostly what I want you to know about getting started at the gym. Just go get started. That's your first step, is to actually just do it. And once or twice a week is going to be totally a fantastic place to start. Sign up for the Kickstart Your Health series, and you will get a free workout plan to get started with links to videos. So there you go. I hope you don't have any excuses to getting started, because I've just given you lots of things to get started with. So if you're listening to this and you haven't started at the gym yet, or you haven't gone back to the gym, go today, go now, go sign up for a membership. As soon as you have that idea, you got to take action on it. Okay? Sign up for the Kickstart Your Health series, get the free workout plan, and there you go. You're set for the next 6 weeks. Okay? Okay. Have a fantastic rest of your week, my friends, and I will see you next Tuesday. Okay. Goodbye.